This is lesson 86. I'm going to come back to D in a minute. Let's start with 1. I've already started working it on the board. So it says I have Susan B. Anthony dollars. And I have 143 more of these Susan B. Anthony dollars than quarters. So I chose to write Susan dollars equals quarters plus 143. Now it says the value of the coins was $153. So a dollar is worth 100 cents. Quarters are worth 25 cents. And I have a total of $153, but I have to eliminate the decimal because I'm talking about cents. So really it's 15,300 cents. So I'm going to take the first equation and substitute this part, the quarters plus 143, in for the Susan dollars in the second equation. And I get 100 times, substituting that in, quarters plus 143 plus my 25Q quarters equals 100 and is 15,300. I then distribute my 100 to both quarters and 143, and I have 100 quarters plus 14,300 plus 25Q equals 15,300. I want to move all my constant terms to the right, so I do that through subtracting 14,300 on both sides. And the result is I have 1,000 on the right. I combine my like terms on the left, 25 and 100, and I have 125Q. So I have 125Q equals 1,000. I then divide on both sides by 125. So quarters, I'm left with 8. Okay? Now, how many Susan B. Anthony dollars do I have? Well, I have the number of quarters plus 143. 8 plus 143 is 151 Susan B. Anthony dollars. All right, let's go back to practice problem D. All right, practice problem D says 3x cubed. There's no x squareds, but I need a placeholder for x squared, minus 5x plus 4 divided by x minus 4. I divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. 3x cubed divided by x is 3x squared. I multiply, 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times 4 is negative 12x squared. I subtract. I have 0 in my x cubed place. And this is minus a negative, which is a positive. So I have 0 plus 12, and I have 12x squared. I bring down the next term, minus 5x, and then I divide. 12x squared divided by x is 12x. So it's plus 12x. I multiply 12x times x. That's 12x squared. I multiply 12x times negative 4. That's negative 48x. Next step is to subtract. I'm left with 12 minus 12 for x squareds, and that's just 0. Negative 5 minus a negative, which is a positive, 48, leaves me with positive 43x. Bring down my 4. Now I divide. 43x divided by x is 43. I multiply. 43 times x is 43x, and 43 times 4 is negative, that's 172. I subtract. Minus a negative is a positive. I'm left with positive 176. That's this 172 plus 4. I write it as a remainder. Plus 176 over x minus 4. That's my answer. Now, number 8 is also dividing. Number 8 says x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 5 divided by x plus 2. All right, first thing I do is I divide. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Then I multiply. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times positive 2 is plus 2x squared. Then I subtract. I'm left with 0 x cubes. Negative 3 minus a positive is a minus. So here I have negative 5x squared, negative 3 and negative 2. I bring down my 2x. Now I divide. Negative 5x divided by positive x is negative 5x. That was x squared. Because I have to get a negative here to eliminate it. So negative 5x times x is negative 5x squared. Negative 5x times positive 2 is negative 10x. Now when I subtract, these become positive. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. 2 minus a negative, which is a positive, leaves me with positive 12x. I bring down my 5. 12x divided by x is 12. I multiply. 12 times x is 12x. 12 times 2 is 24. I subtract. I'm left with 0 here. 5 minus 24, that's going to be minus 19. So because it's minus 19, when I write it up here, it's minus 19 over x plus 2. That's 8. Let's go to 10. Number 10. Number 10 is negative 5x cubed plus 14x squared minus x plus 10, all divided by x plus 2. All right, so this first term is unusual in that it's a negative. So I'd say negative 5x cubed divided by x is going to be a negative 5x squared. I multiply. Negative 5x times x is negative 5x cubed. Negative 5x squared times 2 is negative 10x squared. I subtract. I'm left with 0 here. 14 minus a negative is a positive, which leaves me with 24. Didn't write 24, did I? 24, positive 24, x squared. Now I divide. I bring down minus x. Now I go back to division. 24x squared divided by x is 24x. I multiply. 24x times x, 24x squared. 24x times 2 is 48x. Now I subtract. I'm left with 0 here. Minus a positive is a negative. So 1 and 48 leaves me with negative 49x. And then I bring down my 10, positive 10. So negative 49 divided by x is going to be negative 49. Now I multiply. Negative 49 times x is negative 49x, and negative 49 times positive 2 is negative 98. I subtract. I'm left with 0 here. Minus a negative is a positive, so I end up adding 10 and 98, which gives me a positive 108, and that is my remainder, plus 108 over x plus 2.